What is up, everybody? In this video, I just want to do something different. If you've seen my past videos, you know I never show my face ever or my body at all. I never show any of it. I only do visuals, so you're probably wondering, wow, this guy is definitely a bit ugly. I wasn't expecting him to be behind the camera. If you have seen my past videos, if you haven't, welcome to the channel. Thank you for stopping by. But in this video, I wanted to talk about the new Dragon Ball game that just came out that was hyped up a lot compared to other Dragon Ball games, which is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. This is going to be similar to the Xenoverse video where I do different categories for the different parts of the game, starting with the gameplay, the graphics, the game modes, and content, also the roster, and finally the online. First, we're going to jump right into gameplay. Now, the gameplay for Sparking Zero at its core is just like the other Budokai Tenkaichi games, which makes sense because it is a Budokai Tenkaichi game, but this game is also very fluent and fast-paced compared to the other games, especially Raging Blast. And just like how a Dragon Ball fight should be, a lot of this game feels like it has counters. A lot of it. There's a lot of counters. I don't mind the counters. I know some other people are like, damn it, I hate these counters. But I personally don't mind having all these counters and different defensive options in a game like this, especially going back to like Xenoverse, which doesn't have too many defensive options. Now, there's also certain tech and mechanics you do need to be pretty precise and accurate with, especially with the counters and vanishes especially. You need to be precise and accurate while doing those stuff if you want to be better and win certain games. Now, obviously, this game isn't balanced. That's definitely obvious. It's not meant to be a balanced game. It's not supposed to be. It's always going to be hard for someone like Yamcha to fight Blue Gogeta because Gogeta should be stronger than Yamcha normally. You know, if you wanted a balanced and competitive game or an experience like that with Dragon Ball characters, you can just play Fighters. Literally, that game is perfect for it. They even added rollbacks, so the online is better, so you really could just go to Fighters and have fun with that game. Now, just because Sparking Zero isn't balanced doesn't mean it's not fun, but that also does make more questions arise, like why are they making patches or stuff or nerfing certain characters like Yajirobe if it's not supposed to be balanced and it's supposed to be goofy and all that. But my take on it is I personally think certain characters and certain things like Yajirobe being ridiculous just isn't what they intended. They did want to make him unique and give him a good ability, but they probably went a little too OD, especially for a character like Yajirobe. He's not really supposed to be that good. That's why I think they were nerfing characters like him, and characters like Broly should be OD, and characters like Krillin just shouldn't be that good, you know. But for the most part, the combos are fun, the movement feels nice, and the controls are dope. Both modern and classic feel really fun to play. The characters feel surprisingly unique. Doing things like transforming and fusing mid-fight just feels so cinematic. It feels so cool. In Xenoverse, they could kind of like stop you from doing that. Like they could break your stamina and all that. But in this game, it's like, nah. You gotta sit there and watch Broly go through all his transformations. You gotta sit there and watch Frieza go one by one. If he has the skill points, you're gonna sit there and watch him do it. There's obviously a cooldown because you can't just transform and de-transform fast, like super fast. Even if you do have the skill points, there still is like a cooldown. You can't just spam it because then you'd have iframes and be able to stop the game constantly. But even then, you do have to wait when they do transform. But even accidentally de-transforming and not being able to switch and losing a character is kind of a bruh, but it's still part of the fun, you know. The gameplay is very fun and definitely didn't disappoint in my opinion. Well, the graphics, obviously they speak for themselves. I mean, the graphics in this game are amazing. They are very breathtaking, especially the stages and the beams. And I know the people who did make Jump Force back in the day, you remember Jump Force. God, Jump Force, you remember that game though. And you can see the similarities between Sparking Zero and Jump Force, like Cell's Grab. But Jump Force had really good particle effects and beams, and the ultimates in Jump Force just looked really good for that game especially, because that game definitely looks kind of like a bruh. The particles effects and all the special like beams and final flashes and stuff like that just looked really well. Even the One Piece characters surprisingly had amazing looking ultimates, and that's all I could ask for honestly. But even then, I think the only kind of small nitpick I would have with this game's graphics it's the smallest of nitpicks too, which is just the beams are really small. I wish the beams were bigger, like huge, like the Final Flash should be like coming off of the earth, not like kind of small. But that's a really small nitpick. You know, when it goes cinematic, you see the huge explosion and like you see Kid Buu going crazy with his ultimate. Like, it's a really small nitpick, but for the most part the graphics speak for themselves. It is amazing. The roster for the game is such a huge part for this series of game because Budokai Tenkaichi is very known for all its different transformations and characters and even different versions of characters, which some people kind of like is a turnoff for them. Like, I don't really want all these characters and all these different, you know, versions of the same character like Goku. But, you know, the roster is still huge even with that. The roster is like 182 characters, plus there's more characters planned from Daima and Superhero as well. So the roster is going to do nothing but get bigger. And in my opinion, it's an amazing roster. You know, some people have small problems with certain duplicate characters, like I said, with like Goku mid or like early Z Vegeta, but I honestly don't mind having all of those different versions as long as all the other unique characters are included as well. Like, they have characters like Spopovich and Android 19 and Dr. Gero, or even Dr. Wheelo or Babidi, like, and Yajirobe, which is just crazy to me, like, that they had added all these crazy characters, and they still added all the different versions of Goku and Vegeta, which I personally don't mind having, because those characters still feel unique enough to me, like Goku using Namek and Kaioken compared to like how what he does in Super, where he just uses that with Blue and Kaioken and all that different stuff. They feel unique enough to me to where it's like, that's fine if that's like that. And there are a couple characters I wish did make it in. Obviously Super 17 is a big one. A lot of people are like, damn, we're Super 17. Or Ice Shenron, Nova Shenron, Paikon's another one. But those characters not being in the game aren't the worst thing, because I'm fairly sure they might be added as DLC, and even without them, they're not game-breaking characters. They're not like MUI not being in the game, you know. It's fine if they're not. The roster is still amazing. Now, the game modes. The game modes in this game are very cool, and there are a couple of surprising ones. Obviously, you know, the tournament mode is back with all the different rules and different stages. You can even still make two bots fight each other, which it's so funny. It's really funny, and I'm glad they included that small detail from the other games that they brought back. That's really funny. Local battle is a bit disappointing though. When I first tried to play with some of my family, I'm like, oh, let's play. The stages, you can only play in the hyperbolic time chamber for some reason. I don't know if it's because it can't handle it or the game can't process something like that. I don't know the details of why, but you can only play one stage, which is kind of like, kind of lame, you know, just kind of lame to me. I know you're mostly going to be playing online probably, but for the local people, like, damn, that's definitely tough. And then there's the tutorial mode that I actually used for once. I never really used tutorial modes for games, but this game I was like, yeah, I gotta go into tutorial mode for sure. I definitely gotta learn the basics, and the game does teach you pretty well of, you know, learning the ropes and learning the basics of the game. If you want to learn more of the nuanced stuff and the more like intricate mechanics and stuff, you're gonna have to go online. The game's obviously not gonna do that for you, but that's most games. There is also a challenge and mission mode in the game, which is fine. They're just there. I don't really look at the missions and are like, all right, I'm gonna do this one for Zeno. Like, I don't really do that. They just kind of get done while playing through the game, which I think is perfectly fine. I don't want to go out my way to do specific tedious missions and all that. And I'm also glad there's no battle pass or nothing with skins locked behind it. I'm really glad this game didn't do any of that bull. You can get all the skins for free. You can just do that. If you play the game enough, you'll do that. So I'm glad there's no battle pass, and the challenge mode and mission mode is kind of there. I prefer it that way. There's a shop as well where you can buy all the characters, which is what I did. Not gonna lie, at first I went through a lot of the story and I was like, man, when am I gonna start getting the characters? Then I hit up the shop and I was like already level 17 or 18, and I'm like, all right, well, guess I'm buying all these characters. I'm gonna just start buying them with all the Zenny I got. I'm pretty sure I bought all of them except for like ones that you need to be level 24, which is like Rose or Goku Black and Fuse Zamasu. But even then, you can buy most of the characters. You can buy all of them when you get to level 20. So that's also another way to get the characters if you don't want to do the story and do all that tedious stuff. There's an option to get the characters, which I greatly appreciate them for doing that. There is also costumes that you can buy. The costumes, to me, I like the costumes. There's not a huge amount of them, but I like them. They're really cheap, and you can get them really fast, just like the characters. And there's also an encyclopedia where you can learn about the characters just like in the old games. And there's even a special option where you can have Chi-Chi, Bulma, and Videl, and they'll all talk or say something and have a small conversation about the character that you press on. Like if you have Goku and you press the girl talk button, they'll all just start talking about Goku or whichever. Even the different transformations is not just a character. You can do like Trunks, and then you can do Kid Trunks, or Future Gohan and Adult Gohan, or even Adult Gohan Super Saiyan 2, or Future Gohan and Super Saiyan. Like, they say everything about every transformation, and that is so amazing that they do that. I must have taken a lot of work to do that as well. And I remember in the old game, Chi-Chi did that, where she would just say something about every character. I'm really glad they brought this feature back. It adds so much personality and charm to the game already. Like, even going through the menus with Goku going to Kame House or going to the Zeno's place and all that, the whole game is just charming. It's just a very charming game. Seeing Goku and them just start talking randomly, just like in the other games, where if you see Gohan in his freaking car, and they'd all start talking randomly sometimes. Like, it's a really nice change and feels extremely charming. Even characters show personality in the menu, like Hercule having pictures on the wall, or Master Roshi reading that dirty magazine. And there's also a place where you can summon for the Dragon Balls, just like in the other game. You can use the regular Dragon Balls for Shenron, the Namekian ones for Porunga, and then there's Super Shenron. I got Super Shenron like 3 times. That's how I was able to get certain characters that I didn't want to get to level 20. You know, I couldn't do it. That's a lot of grinding, because I was like, oh, I got every other character. Might as well just get the Dragon Balls and summon for all of them now. That's what I did, because it's not hard to get the Super Dragon Balls like that. You just do Jiren's story, your Trunkses, and Goku's, and boom, you got 3 sets already. The main story of the game, or the main like campaign kind of thing, is the episode battle feature. And this is where you get the what ifs and you choose different characters. The different characters are Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, Trunks, Frieza, Goku Black, Jiren. You choose these characters and you do different routes, and you can do whatever you want and have different outcomes come from it. Obviously, it's not like open world. You can't obviously do whatever you want, but you can make different choices. Like Frieza choosing to get, I don't know, people in the Tournament of Power that originally weren't there, like Cooler or King Cold or all those people. Or Jiren just destroying everybody and winning the Tournament of Power. There's a lot of different stuff. Even Gohan Black, I'm sure you saw those what ifs. The what ifs in this game are crazy and fun and really unique. And I think some of them fix Super. Even Gohan's were, with Gohan Black, I think that is, to me, would have been more interesting to see than Goku Black. It would have been more interesting to see Gohan Black and all that. But one other thing about it is it was a bit confusing to me. I don't know if I'm just stupid or something, but it was a bit confusing the first time around. They didn't explain too much, or I think I might have skipped through the text boxes because I was like, I want to play the game. But I remember just being confused and being like, how do I get the different outcomes? Where do I get them from? Can you explain it to me, game? Maybe, you know, that was probably just me being dumb, but at first, the episode thing was kind of confusing to me. After, you know, I played more of it, I'm like, oh, I get it now, I get it. But at first, I was like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? You know what I'm saying? Episodes are really fun, but another bruh thing is the cutscenes. They feel a bit on the lazy side. I mean, the sparking episodes are amazing. They're beautiful, they look great, they're really unique, but the cutscenes themselves are just like slideshows, or just the characters standing still and just moving their mouths like this. Like, it's really just like kind of lazy sometimes. You know, it was a bit disappointing because I thought the what ifs are cool, and the sparking episodes when they really do go all out with the cutscenes are really dope. But it's like most of them are just like slideshows of the characters talking. or sometimes they're not even talking. Sometimes they're just like the narrator's going over it, and it's just a slideshow over and over and over again, which kind of gets a little bruh sometimes. There is also another funny mode called Custom Battle. This mode adds so much. It is basically Mario Maker, but in Dragon Ball. You can do different scenarios, make up whatever stuff. It is endless amounts of scenarios from different people around the world making whatever they want. It is an amazing idea. It's just Mario Maker with Dragon Ball. That's basically it. You know, if you play Mario Maker, make your own levels, make your own Dragon Ball scenes. Do whatever you want. It's amazing and so funny, and sometimes it's ridiculous seeing what these people come up with. Sometimes it's a bit disturbing, but like, it is still a really fun mode, and I'm really glad that they added a small mode like this that adds a lot. It's like small to the surface, but big in value. So I'd say the game modes and the content in the game are pretty good. I really enjoy them. They offer a lot, other than just offline and online fighting. They offer a ton to me. But after, we're going to be talking about the online. Now, the online for this game is very odd. If you just want to play the game online, yeah, it does the job fine. It's fine, it's there. I have small nitpicks with the online. Like, the connection, for me, it's been fine. There's been no huge issues. There's been small hiccups here and there, but that's expected. No online game is perfect. Nobody's connection is perfect, but for the most part, the connection itself has been fine. I haven't had any issues with it. Now, it's not peak, but it's definitely solid. Playing with friends in rooms is also fun, but they gotta increase the time you get to picking your characters, man. I'm pretty sure it's like 45 seconds, but it was a ridiculously small amount of time to pick 5 characters. I'm like, bro, this is no time, especially because like some of the characters be yapping when you pick them, like freaking Cell over here going like, check out my perfect form, it's perfect. Like, I'm like, dude, can I just pick the character? Like, there has to be something faster. Maybe even preset teams would be something better, or increasing the time would make a big difference. I'm also glad they gave all the modes, like just playing team battle regularly with friends or single battle regularly with friends, but they also gave DP point battles. Now, Destruction Points was in Budokai Tenkaichi 3. I remember playing in that game because that was the game I played the most. Budokai Tenkaichi 3. I remember playing 2 a little bit, but I played 3 non-stop. So I don't remember too much of 2 and 1, but 3 was my game. That was my favorite game of all time at a point. And I remember Destruction Points in that game. It was like you had a certain amount of points, and every character, the stronger your character, the more points they cost. Implementing this into ranked is an amazing idea. It's so much fun. So many people making these different creative teams with Shiatsu. Characters you would never see paired with other characters. Different strategies, different characters, different transformation strategies or fusion strategies. Body change strategy with Ginyu and stuff. It is a ton of fun seeing all the different teams. But there's also a single battle ranked mode where you can just pick a character and run it in ranked. Obviously, you're just going to be fighting MUIs and Super Vegetos with After Image, Strike, and, you know, Fusion, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, DBZ Broly, just have the unblockable ultimates. You're going to run into that all the time with single battles, so I'm glad they have the DP point system. It's an amazing and fun thing that they added. Now, I'm not the best, I'm not the best player in this game by far. I am pretty mid at this game. I'm only like rank A2 in singles and DP battles, so I'm not him. I'm not even S yet. So you can take this with a grain of salt, but there is cheese in this game, just like every game, at least that I've experienced. People like instant sparking stuff, and then having a giant character use that against you is just kind of a bruh, not gonna lie, because they can just do that unguardable move over and over and over and over again, which is just like, or sword characters getting out of vanish battles. After Image Strike is another thing. 15 seconds or something of like basically invincibility at that point. And then people rage quitting. You don't get the points if they rage quit. I know they're implementing a system where you can stop rage quitters and all that, or like if you rage quit too many times, then you're going to be matchmaking with other people who rage quit. But that doesn't stop people like that. I mean, I'd rather just get the win. Give me the automatic W, or let me fight a bot for the rest of the fight and make them lose points and let me have the points. You know what I'm saying? Because them DP battles be long. They be long as hell. Most of the time, I don't even get to kill the character, like the whole team. Most of the time, it's like, all right, we fighting the entire time, we're running out. So, and I haven't seen any modders yet. I really hope I didn't just jinx it, but I didn't see any modders yet. But for the most part, the online is fine. It does have some hiccups like every other online game, but I am enjoying the online. It's odd, but it's definitely pretty good. I think this game, in my opinion, is an amazing Dragon Ball game. It is an amazing game in general. There is tons of content, and it honestly didn't disappoint. I think if you didn't watch Dragon Ball and you play the game and you go into the story, you'll definitely be very confused because they don't explain a lot when it comes to the story. You're definitely going to have to want to watch Dragon Ball before you buy the game, but you'll still have a lot of fun playing this game if you never watched Dragon Ball like that, or if you know very little about it. You'll still have a ton of fun playing this game because I think it's an amazing game in general. Now, I already have tons of hours. I have platinum already. So I already have played a lot of this game. And I'm gonna keep playing it because I'm looking forward to the DLC, different custom battles, the tournaments, just overall improving at the game in general as well. You know, I got to Xeno rank in Fighters because I was a no-life in that game too. And I got to top 10 in Xenoverse 2 because I was also a no-life. And I'm probably going to do the same with this game. While balancing school and work and all that other stuff, I'm going to be playing this game in my free time a lot because I thoroughly enjoy this game. It's not a perfect game, obviously. No, I didn't say that. It's not perfect. But it is still an amazing game. It doesn't have to be perfect to be still amazing or still enjoy this game because it's a Budokai Tenkaichi game, and that means a lot to me. Because I grew up with Budokai Tenkaichi 3. That was my favorite game of all time. I know you heard me say that already. You love this game, but like, I really did love that game, and I was looking forward to this game so much. Playing this game means a lot to me because it's like seeing a love letter to one of my favorite games of all time being brought back. It's just an amazing. It makes me feel like anime games have hope. It makes me feel like that, you know what I'm saying? Because most anime games, wow, like what is going on right now? You saw that Jujutsu Kaisen game, wow, what is happening right now? But this game gives me hope that anime games can be good again. It really does. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed this one. If you like the face cam, let me know. If you don't want to see my ugly mug, say that in the comments too. Be like, bro, take this dirty ass face cam bowl off. I don't like seeing your face. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. Hope you'll enjoy this one. Peace.
I just need you on your step. Look at me, baby, don't avert your eyes. You and I is what I like, and I need you there right by my side.